Hillcats. Is that right? Okay, so as I have been corrected, so we are doing a doubleheader today. In the circle for the Golden Suns, we got Allie White as the usual first starter ace of this Golden Suns pitching staff that has that's a sophomore that has an ERA of 1.580. The Hillcats come into this contest 29-15 overall record. The Arkansas Tech Golden Suns come into this contest 32-11. So the first batter for the Hillcats will be Bailey King, the junior, who's playing second base so far. You got Charlie Jackson, as usual, behind the dish, catching for Allie White. You got Caroline Wilhelm at first, Destiny Maywell at second, Curry at short, and Riley Drake at third at the hot corner. We're about ready for first pitch. And first pitch is on the way, and it's a ball outside.
One thing to look for in this matchup today between these two teams is that Rogers State has 8 losses away on the year. They're 2-8 on the road. Not a good road team this year.
And that pitch is inside for strike one. That is a good point there, Jonah, to see how well the Golden Suns can protect their home field here.
Yeah, ironically enough, the Golden Suns have lost more games at home than anywhere else this year. They're 15-1 on the road.
And that was a grounder to Destiny, and she throws over to Caroline, and that'll be the first out of the inning.
Now batting, Riley Bush.
And then next up to bat will be number 10, Riley Bush. The freshman is hitting .284 on the year so far. The rest of the defensive alignment for the Golden Suns is Anna Winkfield in left, Aubrey Jones in center, and Aaliyah Dixon in right. Here's the pitch by Allie, and low for ball one. The Golden Suns come into this game with not a series win against the ranked, number 17th ranked Oklahoma Baptist Bison the previous weekend. The 1-0 is in there for a called strike on the inside part of the plate. However, they were able to salvage the last game in a dramatic fashion with a walk-off win by the hit by Caroline Wilhelm. Here's the 1-1. That one's rolled over to Destiny. She makes the play again for another ground out for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, and Rogers State is coming off 2 losses against Missouri Southern, who they're ranked 11th in D2 this year. Both of them close games. First one was 0-2. Next one was 2-4.
Gotcha. I believe Arkansas Tech has also played Missouri Southern earlier in the year, Jonah, in part of that early season tournament. First pitch to Mariah Belzer is in there for a called strike. I believe that was a changeup there. She is a junior. She's the shortstop, and she is batting .287 on the year so far. And that's another called strike down the middle of the plate there.
Yeah, the Golden Suns faced Missouri Southern on February 7th. They lost that game in Bentonville on a score of 1-7.
I thought that was one of their tougher losses. That was popped right back to Allie, 1-3 put out, and that'll be the 1-2-3 inning. So score remains scoreless as we head to the bottom of the first. This is Golden Sun softball. All right, welcome back to Golden Sun softball as we head to the bottom half of the first inning. The Golden Suns had a 1-2-3 inning at the top half of the inning. And this is a pretty familiar lineup if you've been following the
Now
Golden
batting number
Suns.
27, Anna Wingfield.
First off, leading off for the Golden Suns is Anna Wingfield. The Golden Suns lineup will be facing Harley Cooley. The senior has an ERA of 2.530. First pitch to Anna is low and inside for ball one. She has a record of 14-8, and she has 149 and a third innings pitched. She has 152 strikeouts, and it looks like 54 walks. First pitch is down at the bottom of the zone for a called strike.
Yeah, the Golden Suns face off against another pitcher who averages a strikeout an inning this year. They faced two pitchers against Oak Bath this previous weekend who were averaging a strikeout an inning, and they did pretty well.
And that's the first hit of the game as it goes through the 5-6 hole. And that'll put Anna at first.
Now batting.
So this will bring up
Maya Curry.
the ever speedy Maya Curry as see what kind of small ball Coach Jones is going to play here, as Roger State has watched the film on Maya Curry as their third baseman is playing in.
Yeah, Anna Wingfield picks up her 45th hit this year. That leads the team.
And the bunt was on for a sacrifice. However, she went back and Maya held back and got a call ball. Anna has 13 stolen bases on the year so far. Let's see what kind of small ball Coach Jones is playing today. And that one's fouled back as Curry's more of your lefty slap bunter of the lineup. Behind the dish for the Rogers State Hillcats is Sailor Brown is catching for Cooley. And that one bunt was offered, and that's a called strike. Count runs to 1-2. So in right field, you have Chloe Cardona. In center field, you have Rayleigh Gorman. And left, you have Riley Bush in the outfield. And that one's outside. Ball is dropped, and that'll be a stolen base for Anna Wingfield.
Yeah, Sailor Brown's going to have her work cut out for her today with this Golden Suns running offense. Very good at stealing bases and taking advantage of blunders in the outfield and infield.
Indeed, indeed. So now it's on third. At the hot corner, you got Hallie Bucktrot. At short, you have Mariah Belzer. Pitch to Curry swings through it, and that'll be the first strikeout of the game. And so that'll bring up
Now
Aubrey
batting, number
Jones.
16, Aubrey Jones.
By far the most dangerous hitter of this Golden Suns lineup. And then second baseman for the Hillcats will be Bailey King, their leadoff. First pitch to Aubrey is outside for ball one, and then their first baseman is Jaden Jordan.
Big thing this past weekend for Tech was they couldn't get timely hits with runners on base, leaving a lot of runners on base. Let's see if Aubrey Jones can drive in on a Wingfield here and strike first.
And she swings through that pitch, and that'll be a called strike, or a swinging strike, as you will. The designated player for the Hillcats will be Raylan Morgan. So that is all the lineups and defensive alignments. And so that pitch is outside for ball two. Even though Aubrey Jones is the most dangerous Golden Suns hitter, she is not afraid to lay down a bunt herself with her speed. And that one's way outside too, and that'll be the run the count to 3-1.
Both of these teams have strength in pitching. Rogers State ranks third in their conference with a 2.5 ERA as a team.
Alrighty, and I believe that's the MIAA conference. Is that correct,
Correct.
Jonah? Okay. And that is a 5-pitch walk to Aubrey Jones. So that'll be runners at first and second
Now
for
batting, number 33, Allie
our
White.
starting pitcher in the circle. Allie White comes up to bat.
Allie White comes in at third for team leaders in RBIs this year for the Golden Suns. She has 25.
Her average on the year so far is 2.84. That pitch is outside for ball one. So if you're any familiar with Division II football, the MIAA consists of programs. There's a foul pitch back for strike one. Programs like Pittsburgh State, the Gorillas, and Northwest Missouri State, which is the Bearcats, and schools like that. Also has Nebraska Kearney in it as well, and Fort Hays State that are in Kansas. Here's a 1-1, and that is high and inside for ball two. This is a rare treat that we have this late in the season to have a non-conference matchup like this. That one's foul towards the Golden Suns bullpen. And so Allie will make the count even at 2-2.
Yeah, the MIAA is historically a power conference in the Central region. This year for softball, Pittsburgh State is ranked, Missouri Southern ranked, Central Oklahoma ranked. A lot of ranked teams in their conference for softball this year. Rogers State has seen plenty of good competition coming into this game.
Just as the Golden Suns have when they have played Southern Arkansas and Oklahoma Baptist. Here's the 2-2. That one's popped up. And the first baseman will make the catch, and that'll be the second out of the inning. So an unproductive out for Allie White, and she's not able to move the runners over.
Now batting, number
And
12,
so that'll be bring up Caroline Wilhelm. It'll be interesting to see. Here's the first pitch. And to continue that thought, Anna was going ahead and stealing, and as she was able to get to third relatively easy, even with the throw, and Aubrey Jones moves up 60 feet because of the throw.
Great read by Anna Wingfield. Seen that one in the dirt early. Tough play for Sailor Brown. That one got caught in her back foot there.
And the next pitch comes in there for a called strike on the outside part of the plate. Be interesting to see these two programs come postseason time when the committee makes their selections. Here's the 1-1, and that one's popped up. And unable to make the catch is the second baseman. She tried to do the basket catch. Unfortunately, she was unsuccessful.
Yeah, just not an easy play for Bailey King there, ranging all the way over, fighting the wind. Jaden Jordan, first baseman, deciding not to give chase to that one. Even though it was a little bit to her left, she wouldn't have had to move much for that.
Well, that gives Caroline Wilhelm an extra pitch here. So she can take advantage of it and fouls that one. And that one's out of play.
Yeah, that's going to be a massive chance there for the Hillcats if Caroline Wilhelm drives in these two runs.
That sure will be. So because of that foul ball, she earns another pitch here. Get it shortly here. Here's a 1-2. And comes inside, and she fouls that one back. I will say that these Golden Suns hitters have made Keeley work this first inning, which is what you want from at least the top half of your lineup early in the game. Here's the 1-2 again. That's outside and even the count at 2-2.
Yeah, but at the end of the inning, the only thing that matters is if you put up runs. That's what the Golden Suns need here.
That is very true. Amounts to nothing if you can't put runs on the scoreboard. Here comes the 2-2. And she was able to check her swing as they double checked, and the count runs full.
Yeah, that was really close to the swing going. Caroline to pull that bat back. Working herself into a full count now.
If she's able to get a walk, which first base is open, Destiny Madewell would be up to bat. And that is exactly what happens as that pitch was outside for ball 4. What a battle between Caroline and Cooley.
Now batting, number 2.
And
Destiny
that'll
Madewell.
bring up Destiny Madewell with the bases all occupied. As they say, ducks on the pond.
Yeah, Cooley just couldn't get that last strike on the outside corner there, missing outside multiple times.
Here's the first pitch to Destiny, and that is outside and low for ball 1.
Yeah, you can see she's a little upset now, losing field at strike zone. Missed in the same spot multiple times now.
Here's the 1-0. And that is swung through by Destiny, and that'll be strike 1.
She's sticking with it, though, and she throws a good one there. That one starts right on the corner, fades outside. Gets Madewell to swing.
Already a massive opportunity here for the Golden Suns. Here's the 1-1. That is called strike for Destiny, and the count runs to 1-2. It should be in protect mode here. But yeah, this is a massive moment already in the first inning for these Golden Suns. Let's see if they can get a timely hit here from Destiny. The 1-2 is outside for ball 2. Count evens at 2-2.
And again, with 2 strikes, Cooley tries to get Madewell swinging. Just like Caroline when she was up with 2 strikes against her. Likely going to go right at Madewell here.
And that is a swinging strike 3, and that'll be the last out of the inning. So we've already had our first hit, but the bases were left loaded as we head to the top of the second. At the score still 0-0. This is Golden Sun softball.
Welcome to St. Mary's Regional Health System, your trusted healthcare partner in Russellville. Since 1925, we've grown alongside our community, providing compassionate care to generations. With advances in technology and a dedicated team, we continue to evolve, driven by our mission of making communities healthier. Thank you, Russellville, for allowing our family to care for yours. St. Mary's Regional Health System, making communities healthier.
All right, welcome back to Golden Sun softball as we head to the top half of the second inning of this first game of this doubleheader.
Now batting, number 19.
So we got a scoreless game so far with only 1 hit between both teams. Now we have Jaden Jordan, the first baseman for Rogers State, up to the plate in the box against Allie White, who had a pretty quick 1-2-3 inning. And the first pitch to Jordan, and that is foul as it fouled off her foot there. Home plate umpire says.
Jordan has superb hitting stats this year. She's batting .373. Has 10 home runs, 29 RBIs.
By far the highest average of all the Hillcats. There's the 0-1, and that is way outside for ball 1 for Allie. Allie comes into this contest with an 11-4 record with 34 walks, 60 strikeouts, and a batting average of the opponents are .228. Here's the 1-1, and that one's hit sharply, and Riley fields it in fair ground, throws across the diamond for a strike, and that'll be the first out of the inning.
She's been awesome at third base lately
Now
for the
batting
Golden
number 2,
Suns, making
Sayla
another
Brown.
tough play there. Needed a good, strong throw to get Jordan. Does that.
And that'll bring up the catcher, Sailor Brown, for the Hillcats, as her and Jordan had a little conversation about what Jordan saw in the box. Here's the first pitch and fouls it off right to against her teammate in the on deck circle. It's her kind of in the shin there.
Yeah, Raylan Morgan a little shaken up on that one. Goes into the dugout for a second.
And she says she's good. Home plate umpire kind of walks out towards Allie. Gives her a minute to recuperate. There's the 0-1. And that is low for ball 1. Allie kind of chuckles at that. At that call by our home plate umpire. Evens the count at 1. And gets that in there for a called strike. So the count goes to 1-2. And the 1-2. Foul tip, strike 3, and that'll be the second out of the inning.
Yeah, baby.
So that'll add to Allie's total. So that'll be
Number 4, Raylan Morgan.
that'll bring up Raylan Morgan up to bat for the Hillcats.
We are going to see a more defensive battle today. Rogers State is only batting .267 as a team this year. And the Golden Suns have superb pitching.
So that first pitch was fouled off the batter. So as our home plate umpire walks out and gives Allie the ball there in the circle, kind of give the batter a breather.
Tech does rank second in the GAC pitching wise. They have a team ERA of 2.4.
And here's the 0-1. And that one's in there for a called strike at the bottom of the zone. I believe that was a great changeup there by Allie. And the 0-2. And that's a chase pitch. And Raylan did not offer at it. See what Allie has in store for this 1-2 against Raylan. Here's a 1-2. And that one's hit sharply through the 5-6 hole under the diving Riley Drake, and that'll be the first hit for the Hillcats of Rogers State.
Yeah, not an easy hit there for Raylan Morgan either. Drop ball inside part. That was going to be a ball. But Raylan goes down and gets it, sends that one to left field. Good piece of hitting from her.
And so that'll bring up Rayleigh Gorman, the center fielder for the Hillcats. And Allie throws a first pitch strike on the inside part of the plate. That was also a great effort by Riley Drake there at the hot corner, trying to dive and get that ball on the previous hit. And that pitch is outside for ball 1. Just unfortunately, it got just under her glove. Here comes the 1-1 from Allie. And that is inside, our home plate umpire says, for ball 2. So the count runs to 2-1. And the 2-1. And that is swung through for strike 2. So the count evens at 2-2. And the 2-2, way outside for ball 3, and count runs full. Allie tells Charlie that's her bad on that pitch. See what kind of payoff pitch that Allie's going to throw here against Rayleigh. And that one's hit softly back to Allie, and she throws over to first for the 1-3 put out.
Yeah, baby.
So that'll be the final out of the inning as we head to the bottom of the second. Still scoreless. This is Golden Sun softball.
Are you ready to get in on the action at Arkansas Tech? Join us for a campus tour and see firsthand why we're the perfect fit for you. Explore these state-of-the-art facilities, meet our friendly faculty and staff, and discover the vibrant student life that awaits. As a bonus, we are now giving bilingual tours in Spanish.
¿Te gustaría conocer el campus de Arkansas Tech? Contáctanos hoy y descubre por qué esta universidad es el lugar donde comienzan los sueños grandes. From our beautiful campus to our endless opportunities, there's something for everyone at ATU. Visit atu.edu/admissions to schedule your tour today and to start your journey to success.
All right, welcome back to Golden Sun softball as we head to the bottom half of the second inning here with it still scoreless, with each team getting their first hit, getting a hit in this contest. And Riley Drake comes up and swings at the first pitch for strike one. And if run's going to be hard to come by, the last half inning for the Golden Suns, where they were at bat, may have proven to be could be costly for them, leaving all people on base. So that pitch is a ball for Riley, even count at 1-1. And the 1-1, and that is low for ball 2.
Keely pretty upset in the pitcher's circle. I think she's upset with the way the ball's coming out of her hand so far. Hasn't really found her spot in the zone consistently.
So that is a called strike on the inside part of the plate, even count at 2-2. And the 2-2. And Riley swings through that one, and that'll be strike 3. So that'll bring up Charlie Jackson, the catcher behind the dish for the Golden Suns. And that one's fouled back by Charlie to the fence there, right in front of us, for strike 1.
Yeah, got a good pitch to hit at there. Good swing there by Charlie, just a little bit under it.
And that's a called strike on the outside part of the plate. And Charlie will have to go into protect mode with 2 strikes. Down the count 0-2. With 1 out and nobody on base. Here's the 0-2. And 3 pitches, and that'll be another strikeout. And that'll bring up Aaliyah Dixon, the number 9 hole hitter for the Golden Suns, who's batting .321 on the year so far. And has been a key contributor at the bottom of the lineup for Coach Jones.
Yeah, you won't find too many 9-hole hitters as good as Aaliyah Dixon.
And that is outside for ball 1. She's more as what I would call like your a second leadoff person to turn the lineup over to Anna Winkfield, who's at the top. and she's very fast as well. And that's a called strike as she tried to do a bunt.
It's not easy to lead off an inning, though, with 2 outs.
It sure isn't, but she does make it tough when there's even a ground ball in the infield. Here's a 2-0, and that's a swinging strike. So the count goes to 1-2. So she definitely makes it difficult for these Hillcat infielders. And what was able to check her swing on that pitch and evens the count at 2-2. She does have 12 walks on the year, and that is a ball outside and count runs 4. And although she does have 28 strikeouts on the year so far. Here's the payoff, and Dixon fouls that one back, and she'll earn another pitch. However, if she is able to get on base, she does have 15 stolen bases on the year so far.
That's second on the team.
And Keeley wanted that pitch, and she did not get it, and that'll earn Dixon a walk.
Number 27, Otto Wakefield.
And that'll bring up.
Let's see if the Golden Suns can take advantage of that now, needing to just manufacture runs in this game. I won't be surprised if Dixon takes off here, trying to get in scoring position with 2 outs.
For sure, with Anna Winkfield up at the plate. And that's a first pitch strike.
Yeah, great changeup there from Keeley. Completely caught Anna off guard. Haven't seen a lot of that to any of these hitters so far. Stealing that first pitch strike.
Here's the 0-1. And there goes Dixon for second. And throw is almost in time, but they call her safe. And the Rogers State coach is arguing that Dixon left the bag early. And we are returning to softball, and that'll be another stolen base for Dixon.
Anna is the lone Golden Sun first time through the lineup with a hit. See if she can deliver another one.
And she laces that one towards the parking lot, hits the bus for Rogers State, however. Hope they have insurance on that bus. That's a dangerous spot to park it.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen a bus park right there. You're kind of just asking for it.
You really are. So the count now is 1-2. Here's another pitch. And Anna swings through that one, and that'll be the final out of the inning. So the Golden Suns leave another runner in scoring position, and the score remains scoreless as we head to the top of the third. This is Golden Sun softball.
You belong at a school that understands your needs. At Arkansas Tech University, you'll receive a personalized education designed with your interests in mind, offering over 150 degree options both online and in person, with classes taught by dedicated instructors committed to helping you succeed in your chosen field. Grow beyond your expectations. Apply today and discover why you belong at ATU.
All right, welcome back to Golden Suns softball as we
Now
head to the
batting,
top
number
half of the
18,
third
Hallie
inning.
Bucktrot.
As the score does remain scoreless here at Chartwell Women's Sports Complex on the campus of Arkansas Tech University. Allie White still in the circle for the Golden Suns.
At batting now will be Hallie Bucktrot. She's batting .233 this year, the third baseman for Rogers State.
And so first pitch to Hallie is ball one. Another point of note is that Rogers State did go talk to the umpire between the innings. And the 1-0 to her is foul back for strike one. And she talked to the umpire again about the Dixon leaving the bag early. And she was making her case. So we'll see how that plays out the rest of the game and see if the umpires pay more closer attention to that. Here's a 1-1. That's low and inside for ball two. Because when that steal happened for Dixon, the coach for Rogers State was adamant that she left the first base early. Here's a 2-1. And that is outside for ball three. So that'll be interesting, to something to watch, a game within the game there, as coaches are trying to get as many calls their way. That ball is fouled back, and the count runs full for Hallie. As any coach is trying to work a referee or an umpire to get calls to go their way for their team. Here's the payoff pitch. That one's sharply hit down the left field line, foul. And Hallie will earn another pitch from Allie. Hallie is a freshman on the team. And the payoff pitch, another foul ball down the left field line. And she has a on-base percentage of .307, only has 2 stolen bases, but she has 23 strikeouts and only 10 walks. Another payoff pitch, and fouls that one as Allie threw a changeup there. Allie was barely got a tip of it.
Third base might just be one of them positions where you value more of the glove than the bat.
You can certainly make that argument. Here's another payoff pitch. That one's rolled over. Curry throws it across the diamond and gets the first out of the inning.
Now batting,
So
17,
that'll bring up Chloe Cardona, who is batting .225 on the year so far. The junior, she's a junior, with 6 strikeouts and only 18 walks. And she has scored 18 runs for her team. First pitch to her is ball inside.
She has 19 singles this year, only 4 extra base hits, 3 doubles, a homer.
And she cranks that one towards left field. On is going back and hits the bottom of the wall. And this will be definitely an extra base hit as she stops at second.
Well, there's her 4th. Now that we start talking about it, she delivers. Good piece of hitting there from Cardona.
Yeah, it just seemed like Anna didn't get a good read on the ball there off the bat. Maybe
Now
she was
batting,
also
34,
doing with the sun
Faye
as well.
Well, that one was also off the top of the wall. Would have been a tough play regardless.
So we turn over to the top of the lineup again as we got Bailey King up to bat for the Hillcats. And that's a called strike outside part of the plate as Caroline and Riley are pinching in for King, thinking that she's either gonna slap or bunt or try to get her teammate to third. And that's an inside pitch, and the Hillcat runner will advance to third. That's a rare miss you see from Charlie Jackson.
Yeah, haven't seen a lot of that this year from Charlie. A little bit of a blunder from her, but now it looks like the infield's playing in. Not going to let that run score.
For sure. Count evens up at 1. Here's the 1-1. And outside for ball 2. I think the thing is on that previous pitch, Jonah, is that Charlie was setting up outside. She had to reach across her body to try to stop the pitch. It was unsuccessful and having it missed and go to the backstop. Inside for strike 2, evens the count at 2-2.
Bailey King upset with that call, but she was all over the plate, kind of leaned in, trying to draw a hit by pitch there. Threw her elbow at it for a second. Did catch inside part of the plate on her.
And the 2-2. And swings through that pitch, and that'll be another strikeout for Allie White.
That drop ball is just so good, especially when Allie starts it at the bottom of the zone. No chance for Bailey King to hit that.
So now that'll bring up Riley Bush up to bat, as Cardona is the first runner the Hillcats have had in scoring position today. And that first pitch is outside for ball 1.
Bush is 0 for 1 today, 284 on the year.
She does have 6 RBIs on the year so far. Here's a 1-0. And that is a called strike. Outside part of the plate. And the 1-1 is shot right back, and Destiny fields it and unable to make the play, and a run scores on that hit. And so that'll be the first run of the ball game.
Yeah, the weak ground ball from Bush just gets it done, sneaks past Allie White, who's really good at fielding her position. Tough play by Destiny Madewell, able to knock it down and deliver a throw, but just not in time to get Bush. Hillcat strike first.
So that'll bring up Mariah Belzer for the Hillcats with the runner on first. And first pitch to her on this at bat is a called strike. Let's see if the Hillcats, even with 2 outs, how aggressive they are on the base pass. Charlie Jackson has been pretty solid behind the plate so far this year. That one's a weak grounder. Allie is able to catch that one and throws over the first. And that'll be the final out of the inning. So the Hillcats are able to strike first, and our score is 1-0 in favor of the Rogers State Hillcats. Heading to the bottom of the third, this is Golden Sun Softball.
Arkansas Tech University has pathways to go to college beyond free and help cover the cost of your education. While other universities may claim a debt-free option via a special scholarship, ATU doesn't need a special scholarship to cover tuition and mandatory fees because we're already one of the most affordable universities in the state. Instead, ATU offers 5 pathways for graduating high school seniors to cover the cost of attending classes. And one of these 5 pathways could pay for you. Apply today at atu.edu/beyondfree.
Welcome back to Golden Sun Softball as we head to the bottom half of the third inning with Rogers State scoring first in the top half of the inning. Let's see if the Golden Suns can respond to that. Down 1-0 as Maya Curry steps back into the box for the Golden Suns.
Curry's 0 for 1 today, struck out in her first at-bat.
See what kind of adjustments. And she slaps that one towards left center, and the center fielder makes the catch. And that'll be the first out of the inning. So 1 pitch, 1 out. So that'll bring up Aubrey Jones up to the plate and into the box. Let's see what kind of adjustments these Golden Suns hitters have made, seeing Cooley once already. First pitch to Aubrey is high for ball 1.
Yeah, Cooley, obviously a nasty pitcher. So many strikeouts this year. Already has 5 in this game.
Yeah, you can definitely tell why she has triple-digit strikeouts. Here's a 1-0, and that is outside for ball 2.
And she also has 3 walks today, which is kind of uncharacteristic for her. She only has 54 walks given up this year in 150 innings.
Here's the 2-0. That is a called strike outside part of the plate. It's really interesting, too, that Sailor Brown, the way she throws back the ball to Cooley, she gets up and kind of tosses it. And that one's fouled back by Aubrey. And the count evens at 2-2. How she, gets up from her crouch, and I wonder if that's to slow down to negate, runner stealing, or, that's kind of just their rhythm. Here's the 2-2. And that is outside for ball 3. First, I thought he called a strike on that, the way he sounded, but our home plate umpire, however, count runs full. Here's a payoff pitch, and that one's fouled back, and Aubrey will earn one more pitch.
Aubrey already has a walk in this game. Walked first time she was out, got stranded.
Very much. Go ahead, Jonah. No, she's by far the I would say the most patient Golden Suns hitter, and she earns another walk. So that'll be a runner on first with 1 out with Allie White.
Number 33, Allie White.
Comes up to bat for the Golden Suns. See if she can help her cause here in the circle. Let's see how aggressive Coach Jones is with Aubrey at first. And outside for ball 1.
Allie White also 0 for 1 today. Had an opportunity with runners on to drive him in. Couldn't come through.
And the 1-0 to Allie. That is high for ball 2. She was able to check her swing there. Did not go far with that swing on that pitch. And the 2-0. And that is outside for ball 3. So let's see if Allie gets the green light here at 3-0, or if she'll be taken the whole way.
Yeah, definitely not going to get the green light here. Need to get any runner you can on base.
And called strike was taken the whole way. So we got count 3-1.
Be shocked if she swings here even. Unless it's something good for her to hit. And it was.
She does. And that is fouled back. Count runs full.
Yeah, definitely got a good one to hit at the bottom of the zone there, but Allie just under it again. Fouls it off.
She sure did. And when she was up last, I believe the bases were loaded. So it'd be really good if she can get a hit here to advance Aubrey. And that is exactly what she does in the right center field gap, kind of. And that'll be a single.
Number 12.
She just got a pitch at the outside lower portion of the zone and just went with the pitch. Did a great job of just putting it where nobody was. And so that'll bring up Caroline Wilhelm. Chance to get an RBI with a base hit.
Wilhelm's walked the last time she was up.
with Aubrey Jones up on second there, and tries to bunt and was able to pull back, trying to advance Aubrey and Allie 60 feet, get runners at second and third. There's the 1-0. Tries to bunt again, pops it up, foul. And so the count evens at 1-1. Seems that Coach Jones wants to do the sacrifice here with Caroline so far.
Yeah, and if this sacrifice works, it'll be Destiny Madewell again at the dish with 2 outs and runners in scoring position.
Indeed it will. She was unsuccessful last time, as she was the third out. And swing at that one, and that one's fouled back. Count goes to 1-2. And umpire is asking for more softballs for his side bags, as Cooley asks for a different ball, and she will get one. I will say it is a perfect day for softball, as the temperatures at first pitch were 75 degrees with a little bit of a breeze here. That one's fouled back towards the parking lot, and Caroline will get another pitch. It is partly cloudy, but the skies are blue and the sun is out. Comes in 1-2 here shortly, as Cooley gets the sign from her coach. And that is barely outside, does not get that call.
Yeah, everyone for Rogers State is surprised they didn't get that call. I am too.
I am, me three there, Jonah. That was a really, really good pitch. That was a good hard take by Caroline. So that evens the count at 2-2. So here's the 2-2. And Caroline swings through the changeup, and that'll sit her down. And that'll be another strikeout for Cooley.
Yeah, completely fooled there was Caroline Wilhelm. Got front-footed early. Unable to get a piece of that changeup at the top of the zone. Good pitch there from Cooley.
So that'll bring up Destiny Madewell with a runner in scoring position and a runner at first with 2 outs. And that is high for ball 1.
That's Cooley's 6th strikeout so far, averaging 2 an inning.
She is definitely the reason, or she's definitely a reason why she is the ace of this pitching staff. Here's a 1-0 out on the outside corner for strike 1. So that evens the count at 1-1 with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Here's a 1-1. Way outside for ball 2.
Destiny struck out last time she was up, 0 for 1 today. Left those 3 runners on base.
She sure did. Here's a 2-1. That one's fouled back into the screen for strike 2. So Destiny will be in protect mode again with 2 strikes, with an even count at 2-2. Here comes the 2-2. And she swings through that one. That'll be the second strikeout for Destiny. So that'll be the final out of the inning with runners left on first and second. The score 1-0 in favor of Rogers State. As we head to the top of the 4th, this is Golden Sun Softball. All right, welcome back to Golden Sun
Now
softball as we
19,
head to the top
Jaden
half
Jordan.
of the fourth inning with the score in the favor of the Hillcats of Rogers State, 1-0. Up to bat for the Hillcats will be Jaden Jordan, the junior first baseman, against Allie White, still in the circle for the Golden Suns. First pitch from Allie is kind of high for a ball one.
Jordan is 0 for 1 in this game. Looking to get her first hit.
This has proven to be a pitcher's duel, which is what the Golden Suns had pretty much all weekend. And that pitch is inside for a ball two, which is what the Golden Suns had pretty much all weekend against the Bison of Oklahoma Baptist, as they lost the first two games by a combined, I believe it was 2 or 3 runs. That one's hit sharply towards Curry, throws across the diamond, and that'll be the first out of the inning.
Yeah,
So that'll bring up Sailor Brown, the sophomore catcher, to the box.
Now batting, number 2, Sailor Brown.
There is some activity in the Golden Suns bullpen. Is Emily Richard warming up there, Jonah?
Cannot see Josh.
All righty. We'll get you an update on that, I guess. First pitch from Allie is a ball on the outside part of the plate. And so the count is 1-0 to Sailor. And that is inside or out in there for a called strike on the outside part of the plate. Evens the count at 1. And the 1-1. And that is caught in foul territory, so that'll be a strike 2 by Riley Drake, the third baseman. Let's see what Allie has for Sailor here with this pitch. See if she can get her to chase or get a ball outside the zone. And hits that one, shoots that right past Allie into center field. Allie was unable to make that snag.
Again, another drop
Now
ball at the
batting,
bottom of
number
the zone.
4,
Just a good
Raylan
piece of
Morgan.
hitting there from Brown. Lacing that one up back the middle.
And that'll bring up Raylan Morgan. Sometimes you just got to tip your cap when you make a good pitch and, or tip your visor to, good piece of hitting when you make a good pitch like that.
Yeah, that's really what's been going on today for the Hillcats. Lacing these balls all over the place. A lot of them are chasing out of the zone and still making good contact. But Allie White's been really good at just going into the zone. No walks so far in this one.
So first pitch to Raylan was a called strike on the inside part of the plate. And that one's laced down the left field line, foul for strike 2.
And this pitcher duel has been very different from both sides. Again, Allie, no walks, no free bases, only 2 strikeouts, but it's been a lot of weak contact outs for her. Meanwhile, Cooley has 7 strikeouts at 4 walks. A lot of free bases from her, only 2 hits given up.
And so that was a ball on the outside part of the plate. Let's see if the Golden Suns can get a double play going here. Here's the 1-2. That one's popped up. Aubrey calls off Dixon, and she makes the catch for the second out of the inning. And so that'll bring up Rayleigh Gorman to the plate and in the box for the Hillcats with a runner on first with 2 outs.
Gorman's 0 for 1 in this one.
And as you said, Jonah, Allie's, after this pitch, I'll continue that thought. That first pitch is a called strike on the inside part of the plate. That Allie has gotten her defense involved, and they've proven up to the task so far at getting those outs, as opposed to Cooley has relied more on the strikeouts. Here's the 0-1. And outside for ball one, Allie tells Charlie that that's her bad. So definitely you always want to get outs. It doesn't matter how they come. Here's the 1-1. Foul back for strike two. Doesn't matter if it's a ground out, fly out, or strikeout, it's still an out. So count runs to 1-2. See if Allie can get Gorman to chase, and she does not with that pitch. Outside for ball two. Count evens up at 2-2. And the 2-2. And does not get that call. And the count runs to 3-2 on the inside part of the plate. I think the Golden Sun faithful wanted that one for sure.
Yeah, it was a close one, but Charlie Jackson really good at just making any pitch look good. Superb framer behind the plate.
Here's the payoff pitch. And that one's laced and right at Aaliyah Dixon in right field, and that'll be the final out of the inning. So score remains 1-0 as we head to the bottom half of the fourth. This is Golden Sun softball.
Welcome to St. Mary's Regional Health System, your trusted healthcare partner in Russellville. Since 1925, we've grown alongside our community, providing compassionate care to generations. With advances in technology and a dedicated team, we continue to evolve, driven by our mission of making communities healthier. Thank you, Russellville, for allowing our family to care for yours. St. Mary's Regional Health System, making communities healthier.
All right, welcome back to Golden Sun softball as we head to the bottom half of the fourth inning. As Coach Jones is throwing in a pinch hitter here, Bailey Bancroft, as trying to try to mix it up a bit for Cooley, and she's had some very good success against these Golden Suns hitters. First pitch to Bancroft is down in the zone for a called strike.
Bancroft batting for Riley Drake, the third baseman. Drake struck out in her first at-bat.
So here's the 0-1, and that is low for ball one. Coach Jones just trying anything to throw off Cooley because of the amount of strikeouts that Cooley has accumulated so far in this game. Here's a 1-1, and that is a swinging strike two.
Well, that and the offense just hasn't been there recently for the Golden Suns.
No, it really hasn't. Even when they've had runners on base, they're not able to drive them in. Here's the 1-2. And that's another strikeout for Cooley.
The Golden Suns have really leaned on their pitching and fielding this year. So has Rogers State.
So
very similar teams going at it here today.
So that'll bring up Charlie Jackson, who is behind the dish. The catcher. Here's the first pitch. And that one's fouled down the left field line and unable to get caught. There was a dive, and then someone got tripped over down the left field line there. And we got an athletic trainer coming out to see if the player is all right. And we'll be back right after this short break. This is Golden Sun softball. All right, we are back with Golden Sun softball as the player looks to be okay.
Yeah, that's
And
Mariah Belzer, the shortstop for the Hillcats, making an effort on that ball, getting tripped up from the left fielder Bush, diving at that attempt. Scary play. Glad she's okay.
absolutely. Definitely want to make sure everybody nobody gets injured. That Keeley pitch is high for a ball there. Count is even at 1-1 for Charlie Jackson. And she fouls that one back. Runs the count to 1-2. So you got a 1-2 count with one out and nobody on base. And Charlie softly hits that towards the shortstop, throws across the diamond, and that'll be the second out of the inning.
Of course, that ball goes and finds Belzer after she was shaken up on that last play. Looks like she's fine. She delivered a strike to first to retire Jackson.
She sure did. And so that'll bring up Aaliyah Dixon here into the box for the Golden Suns with 2 outs and nobody on base. And first pitch to her on this at bat is a ball outside. Now you definitely want to see someone that, even though you're competing against them, I want to see them get injured and them come back stronger. Here's the 1-0. And that is high and inside for ball 2. With Keeley in the circle for the Hillcats.
Dixon walked the last time she was up, ended up stealing a base. Getting stranded on second.
Here's the 2-0. And swings through that pitch for strike 1. She was also the one that the Rogers State coach was adamant that she left first early when she stole that base, making her case known to the fielding umpires, even after she did it and then in between the innings. And she slaps that one, and the right fielder's there to make the catch after a couple steps, and that'll be the final out of the inning as we head to the top half of the 5th with the Golden Suns trailing the Rogers State Hillcats 1-0. This is Golden Sun softball.
Are you ready to get in on the action at Arkansas Tech? Join us for a campus tour and see firsthand why we're the perfect fit for you. Explore the state-of-the-art facilities, meet our friendly faculty and staff, and discover the vibrant student life that awaits. As a bonus, we are now giving bilingual tours in Spanish.
¿Te gustaría conocer el campus de Arkansas Tech? Contáctanos hoy y descubre por qué esta universidad es el lugar donde comienzan los sueños grandes. From our beautiful campus to our endless opportunities, there's something for everyone at ATU. Visit atu.edu/admissions to schedule your tour today and to start your journey to success.
So welcome back to Golden Sun softball as we head to the top half of the 5th as the Hillcats of Rogers State lead the Golden Suns 1-0 with Allie White still in the circle. So for the Hillcats, there'll be Hallie Bucktrot into the box.
Riley Drake also enters the game back into the game at third base for the Golden Suns after being pinch hit for.
She sure does. First pitch to Bucktrot, called strike on the inside part of the plate. And it was interesting, the home plate umpire was having a conversation with Coach Jones and Maya Curry. I'm wondering if it was about Curry's batting stance or something. Couldn't really understand what they were talking about. And that one's foul, and I'll quickly move the count 0-2. Well, it's all these little things that are games within the game. Trying to get an edge any way you can, especially when there's a game like this, when there's a pitcher's duel. So here's the 0-2, and Allie says that that's her fault, and that was a little bit high for ball one. Tells Charlie Jackson that. And the 1-2 hit sharply, and Riley unable to glove that down the left field line. Anna throws it in as the Hillcat.
What a throw.
And what a throw by Anna Winkfield to get the runner at second.
Bucktrot rounding first hard, deciding to go to second early, but what a throw from Anna Wingfield, gunning her down at second base. Couldn't have been a more perfect throw. Good tag by Destiny Madewell.
Now batting, number 17.
That's that
Chloe
defense coming
Cardona.
into play for the Golden Suns. They've been awesome today, showing it there again.
For sure, for sure. So that'll bring up Chloe Cardona, the right fielder for the Hillcats. And that is a ball, as it was on the inside part of the plate. Like you said, Jonah, that was an incredible throw by Anna Wingfield and out in left field after Riley Drake was unable to stab it near the base. And that Allie comes back with a strike on that pitch, outside part of the plate. And not only that, the Bucktrot did a head first slide kind of, and instead of a feet first slide into second, and I think that kind of tripped her up a little bit. Here's 1-1 inside for ball two.
Head first slide is the easiest slide to make. Feet first takes a little bit more time. Plus, it's harder to tag a hand than a foot.
Sure does. And here's the 2-1. And that is called strike. Outside part of the plate, evens the count at 2-2.
Cardona is the chick who laced that double off the wall against Allie White in her first at-bat.
All right. And the 2-2. And fouls that one back. She will earn another pitch up here shortly. Even though Allie has only given up that one run, she is still making her pitches, which is how, and her defense has gotten her back multiple times throughout this game so far. Here's the 2-2, and that is hit softly towards Curry. Throws across and got her.
A tough play there. Cardona showing off the speed. Maya Curry showing off the arm.
Now batting,
Bang,
number
bang
34,
play goes in
Bailey
favor of the
King.
Golden Suns.
So that'll bring up Bailey King at the top of the lineup with nobody on base with 2 outs. That was definitely not an easy play there by Curry, as, like you said, Cardona showing off her speed. And home plate umpire says it hit her on the inside part of the plate. And so that'll be a hit by pitch for King. So that'll bring up Riley Bush
Now
into
batting,
the
number
box.
10, Riley Bush.
Yeah, King stepped into that one. I'm not sure it even got a piece of her, but she was determined to leave the box. A lot of chirping going on with the home plate umpire now, rightfully so.
Yeah, it must have been that graze across the jersey type of hit by pitch. So,
Not really something a hitter ever feels, though.
and that is laced into right center field, and Aubrey throws some destiny into the cutoff, and the runner will advance to second or to third with runners at the corners with 2 outs. as the runner was running on contact.
Good piece of hitting there from Bush, going the opposite way with it. Good running there by King, going from first to third. Now they're 60 feet away from scoring their second run.
That would be a huge blow to this game here with adding an insurance run. So that'll bring up Mariah Belzer to the box. And so that'll get Bush up to second as Charlie did a fake out on the throw, allowing that runner to stay at third.
Yeah, I think there's some miscommunication there in the first and third situation. You certainly want to throw that ball down with two outs.
And that is hit over to Curry. She throws out the batter, and that'll be the final out of the inning with 2 runners left on base. The score still remains 1-0 in favor of the Rogers State Hillcats. This is Golden Sun Softball.
You belong at a school that understands your needs. At Arkansas Tech University, you'll receive a personalized education designed with your interests in mind, offering over 150 degree options both online and in person, with classes taught by dedicated instructors committed to helping you succeed in your chosen field. Grow beyond your expectations. Apply today and discover why you belong at ATU.
All right, welcome back to Golden Sun Softball as we head to the bottom half of the 5th, as we are more than halfway through with this first game of this a doubleheader. Rogers State Hillcats still lead the Arkansas Tech Golden Suns by 1-0 with 6 hits and no errors. Golden Suns have 0 runs with 2 hits and no errors. Anna Wingfield steps back into the box against Cooley, and she laces that changeup down to the parking lot to a possible insurance claim on a car. So the count goes to 0-1.
Yeah, Anna, one of the Golden Suns with a hit in this game.
Here's the 0-1, and that is low on the turf for ball 1. So let's see if the Golden Suns can get a rally started here in this getting late into the game here. Here's the 1-1. And swings through that pitch. That was an incredible drop ball by Cooley as it dropped off the table into the dirt, into the turf there for strike 2. Here comes the 1-2. And that is still low for ball 2, evens the count at 2-2. Anna did not swing at that pitch. Here comes the 2-2. And that is foul, and Anna will earn another pitch. Like you said, Jonah, Anna's been one of the few that have actually gotten something off of Cooley throughout this Golden Suns lineup. And the 2-2. And Anna swings through that drop ball, and that'll be a strike 3.
Yeah, Cooley's done an awesome job at her sequencing, mixing it up every hitter. A lot of the times throwing that changeup when she's up with 2 strikes. But now gassing up Anna Wingfield there with that fastball inside.
So that'll bring up Maya Curry for the Golden Suns. First pitch to the shortstop is outside for ball one. Like you said, Jonah, this Keeley has done excellent inside the circle today, mixing up her pitches and her speeds, keeping these pitches outside for strike one, keeping these Golden Suns hitters off balance, even second and third time through the lineup.
Yeah, Maya Curry's 0 for 2 in this one. Struck out and flew out.
And so Rogers State coach calls time as she's putting in a defensive replacement. It'd be number 11, Carly Smith, out for center fielder. Or, let's see, so number 19 is Jaden Jordan. Will be, where is that number?
That's Rayleigh Gorman.
Rayleigh Gorman. So,
Then Riley Bush comes from left into the dugout.
okay.
Gorman moves to left field.
Okay.
Now playing center field, number 11, Carly Smith.
You don't see that too often where you have a defensive replacement in the middle of an at-bat.
That is a strange one for me too. Yeah, you rarely see that. Here's the 1-1. And Curry slaps that one back foul for strike two. Yeah, it's even a new one for me. Haven't been watching softball for that long, but that's even a rare one because I've been watching baseball too, and that's a rarity for me. So the count runs to 1-2 on Curry. And gets a called strike three on the outside part of the plate. Curry did not like that call as she gets set down for the second out of the inning.
Now Keeley is at 10 strikeouts on the day. Impressive work from her. 4 walks, though. Golden Suns just weren't able to take advantage of the walks earlier in this game. Now Cooley has really settled in.
She really has. And now we got Aubrey Jones up to bat. And first pitch to her is a ball on this at bat. And that first inning blunder of leaving the bases loaded has proven large so far in this game for the Golden Suns. And that's strike call on the outside part of the plate.
Both plate appearances in this game for Aubrey Jones. She has walked, reached base both times.
It seems like that was Aubrey hits that one down the right field line. However, home plate umpire says foul.
Yeah, a really foul call there. Didn't even go over the base yet. He already called a foul.
That was way early, I thought. I thought it would be fair for sure. So here's the 1-2. And that is outside and low for ball two. Evens the count. Yeah, it seems that was the opportunity that the Golden Suns have missed so far in this game. 2-2. Aubrey pops that one up, and that'll be foul right behind us. As Sailor Brown threw off the catcher's mask to look for the ball. So, but yeah, that first inning has proven very, very large as a huge missed opportunity to knock out Hewley early in the game. And here's the 2-2. And Aubrey swings through that one. That'll be another strikeout for Keeley as we head to the top half of the sixth. as the Golden Suns still trail the Hillcats of Roger State 1-0. This is Golden Sun softball.
You belong at a school that understands your needs. At Arkansas Tech University, you'll receive a personalized education designed with your interests in mind, offering over 150 degree options both online and in person, with classes taught by dedicated instructors committed to helping you succeed in your chosen field. Grow beyond your expectations. Apply today and discover why you belong at ATU.
Now batting, number 19, Jaden Jordan.
All right, welcome back to Golden Sun softball as we head to the top half of the 6th inning as Jaden Jordan steps into the box for the Roger State Hillcats against Allie White, who will be called upon to put up another 0 for the Golden Suns, give them a chance in this late part of this game. First pitch to Jordan is a swinging strike.
Jordan is 0 for 2 so far against Allie White.
All things considered, Allie has pitched superb in this game, only giving up that 1 run in the 3rd inning. And that is outside for ball 1, evens the count at 1. It's just that Roger State was able to take advantage of their opportunity to having a runner in scoring position, and the Golden Suns have not so far. And that one's foul down the left field line softly, and that'll bring the count to 1-2. Just like with the Oklahoma Baptist game that Allie pitched in, her offense was unable to come in through for her, and that's a hit towards the right center field gap, and Dixon cuts that off before it goes any farther, and that'll be a hit for Jordan.
Yeah, good job by Dixon to keep it in front of her, leaping to have to do that. Keeping that a single instead of an extra base hit.
So that'll bring up Sailor Brown, and then Roger State will throw in a pinch runner for Jordan. Number 3, Taylon Ballinger. Ballinger.
Now running at first, number 3, Taylon Ballinger.
Ballinger. So that's the substitutions the Hillcats will offer. Let's see what they do, see how aggressive they are. If they'll send the pinch runner to second base against Charlie. And the bunt is on, and that's a foul ball. And that'll be strike 1.
Yeah, Brown really upset with herself there that she didn't get that down.
Yep, she really was. And trying to manufacture a run here. With probably the bunt is on as Caroline and Riley are pinched in here. And that one's hit sharply foul down the left field line.
Roger State only has 39 stolen bases as a team this year.
Aha. So that would answer the question of them sending their pinch runner against Charlie. They would more rather manufacture it by a bunt or something instead of trying to steal a base here. Here's the 0-2. That one's golfed up down to left field. On it makes the catch, and that'll be the first out of the inning. So that'll bring up number
Now
4,
batting, number 4, Raylan Morgan.
Raylan Morgan. Let's see if she can get the runner into scoring position with this at bat. As Charlie takes the timeout, goes to the circle to talk with Allie. And the pitching coach for the Golden Suns comes out and to talk to Allie as well. As they're talking strategy, I guess. Trying to break up the rhythm as it looks like the Hillcats of Rogers State are barreling up these balls from Allie. Meeting is adjourned.
Yeah, both of these teams are very similar, hence why we got such a close one in this. Both lean on their pitching and defense, but the Golden Suns do have the advantage on the bases. They have 83 stolen bases this year compared to Rogers State 42, but haven't been able to take advantage of that.
And first pitch is a ball in the inside part of the plate. And it looks like Emily Richard and Victoria Hughes are heading to the bullpen. I don't know if Coach Jones is wanting to bring in Richard for this last half. And there goes, and the throw was on time. However, Curry was not able to glove it, and that'll be a stolen base for Rogers State.
Perfect throw from Charlie Jackson there on her knees, which is something that is so hard to do. Maya Curry unable to glove it and apply the tag.
So even though the Golden Suns have the upper hand, that is a pivotal stolen base in this game. Here's a 2-0, and that is inside for ball 3. So the count runs to 3-0.
Yeah, if she ends up scoring, Golden Suns are going to be beating themselves, especially because that could have been the second out here in the top of the 6th.
It also reduces the double play. So that's a called strike on the inside part of the plate. Or it not reduces, it actually takes away the double play in the infield. So here's the 3-1. That is hit sharply, and Maya Curry is able to snag it. That ball was hit on the screws, but right at Curry.
Yeah, Raylan Morgan getting a piece of that one. Good job by Maya Curry to back up that play, catch that line drive.
So, and the base runner did not get too far off of second base there and was able to get back safely. First pitch to the batter is a called strike. So this is number 9, Rayleigh Gorman. That runner on second base is a huge thing so far in this game. And that is inside for ball 1. As it could be a huge insurance run for Rogers State against the Golden Suns. As it stands right now, they only need one swing to tie the game up. Here's a 1-1. That one's hit softly towards Curry again and makes the play and throw across the diamond, and that'll be the third out of the inning. Well, Allie White works around that single and stolen base, and score remains 1-0 in favor of Rogers State. As we head to the bottom half of the 6th, this is Golden Sun softball. All right, welcome back to Golden Sun softball as we head to the bottom half of the sixth inning. As the Golden Suns still trail the Rogers State Hillcats by the score of 1-0. Allie White was able to work around a single and a stolen base and leave that runner on second as she steps into the box against Harley Cooley. First pitch to Allie is smoked down the left field line towards Coach Jones. She was able to get out of the way. And let's see if these Golden Suns batters can figure out Cooley here, as they haven't been able to successfully for a long portion so far in this game.
Yeah, Allie White's 1 for 2 so far against Cooley. Hasn't had a strikeout yet against her. Her and Alea Dixon are the only 2 Golden Suns yet to strike out.
So here comes the 0-1. That is outside for ball 1. So let's see if Allie can help her cause here. And see if she can either get a hit and just pass the bat. And that is laced out to right center, and the right fielder was able to make the catch. And that'll be the first out of the inning. That's the first, I will say that's probably the first barrel ball that the Golden Suns have hit so far in this game.
Number 12, Caroline Wilhelm.
So that'll bring up Caroline Wilhelm up to the box. She was the hero. First pitch to her is kind of laced towards the shortstop, throws across the diamond, and that'll be the second out of the inning. So another 1 pitch, 1 out. So that'll be the second out of the inning. So then Coach Jones will bring in a pinch hitter here, number 20, Gunter.
Yeah, Lexi Gunter getting an opportunity at the dish here. Destiny Madewell. She's hitting for Destiny Madewell and will play at second base, 2 likely.
All
Madewell's
right.
0 for 2 so far today, and she had 2 strikeouts.
So,
Now pinch hitting, number 20,
Lexi Gunter is batting 143 this year. 21 at bats,
as they like to say,
3 hits.
it's like they like to say, I think Coach Jones is trying anything and throwing the kitchen sink at this pitcher here, trying anything to get her off of her rhythm. So they did check, see if Lexi went, and the first base umpire said no. First pitch is a ball, outside part of the plate. So here is the 1-0, and that is outside for ball 2. Another point from Caroline Wilhelm is that she was the hero in Game 3 against Oklahoma Baptist. And she got the walk-off single to defeat the Bison in Game 3. And Lexi swings through that pitch for strike 1. As we've mentioned throughout this game, this Rogers State Cooley has really, this pitch in there at the bottom of the zone for strike 2 has really put these Golden Suns batters on their heels for sure throughout the lineup.
Yeah, she struggled with her location in the first and second innings, but has really settled in since then. Gave up 4 walks in those 2 innings.
She really has. And Sailor Brown calls time behind the plate as they reset the pitch clock for her pitcher. And we'll get here comes the 2-2. And gets a called strike 3 as Lexi did not get the bat off the shoulder. Well, we head to the top of the 7th inning, and Allie White will be called upon once more to put up another 0 in the top half of the inning as they trail 1-0. This is Golden Sun softball. All right, welcome back to Golden Sun softball. Coach Jones is going with Emily Richard in the circle for the Golden Suns for this top half of the seventh inning. Destiny Madewell subs back in at second base as she was pinch hit for in the last bottom of the sixth inning. And I guess Coach Jones is wanting a new pitcher for these Hillcat batters against for this last half inning. And first one will be Haley Bucktrot will be in the box. And the first pitch to her was a ball. Here's a 1-0, and that is out on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. Richard's not new for coming into relief. She has done that pretty much all season for the Golden Suns, usually in the first two games of a three-game series. Normally the game three starter. That's high and outside for ball two.
Yeah, with only 2 games today, Richard likely going to come out of the pen in both of them. Ainsley Moore will be the game 2 starter.
And here comes the 2-1. And fouled that one back for strike 2. So evens the count at 2-2 with Richard. And Bucktrot.
Bucktrot is 1 for 2 so far today. Had a single and a ground out.
She'll, here's the 2-2. And that is fouled against Charlie Jackson's mask for a strike. And there'll be another pitch as the umpire's giving Charlie a little bit of a time, a little bit of a breather against that pitch there.
Yeah, that got her pretty good too. A little shaken up,
And,
says she's fine.
So we'll get another pitch here soon. Here's the 2-2. And they asked the appeal. She did not go. And that'll be ball 3. Count runs full. As we said before, Emily Richard is no stranger to these situations, but the first out is always the hardest one to get in these later innings. Here's the full payoff pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. And so that'll bring up number 17, Chloe Cardona.
Now batting, number 17, Chloe Cardona.
For the Hillcats, as Richard got the strikeout.
Cardona is 1 for 2 today. Had a double first time she was up. Ended up scoring that run for Rogers State in the third.
And she went around, as the home plate umpire said, for strike 1. The one and only lone run scored in this ball game. Has turned out to be quite the pitcher's duel so far. Here's the 0-1. And Charlie tried to frame that one and was unsuccessful on the call. Evens the count at 1. So here comes the 1-1 from Richard. And low and outside for ball 2.
Richard is a junior from Lakeland, Tennessee. Likely going to be on the staff next year for the Golden Suns. Every one of their pitchers should be returning, which is the strong suit for them.
That has really kept them in a lot of ball games. That's a swinging strike 2 as Richard was able to pull the thread the needle on that one, as they say. evens the count at 2-2. That is definitely a strong part, a strong statement for them to have all their pitching come back. Richard calls time to reset the pitch clock. And here comes the 2-2. And fouls that one back. James shot. And that'll get another pitch here to Cardona. The Golden Suns pitching has kept them in a lot of ball games, even when they played tougher competition, especially Southern Arkansas and Oklahoma Baptist within their conference, both ranked. And here's the 2-2. Outside for ball 3, another full count here. It's just that a lot of times their offense cannot get the timely hits needed when they have been needed with runners on base. Here's a payoff pitch, and that is a ball 4. So that was high for ball 4, and that'll put a runner on first with 1 out.
Now batting, number 34, Bailey King.
So that'll bring up Bailey King going back to the top of the order here with a runner on first.
King's 0 for 2 today. Had a strikeout. Got hit by a pitch last time she was out or up. Debatable call, though.
See if Rogers, the bunt is on, and bunt goes to Riley, and she throws over to Destiny, and sack bunt does the job, and that'll bring the Cardona to second. And so that'll bring up Riley Bush. She'll be tasked to bring in Cardona from second.
She's had a lot of success today, but that was against Allie White. Bush is 2 for 3 so far. Had an RBI. Stolen base as well.
Now batting, number 10.
Now she faces
Riley
Emily
Bush.
Richard. Different look for her.
Sure is. Here's the first pitch. In there for strike 1. This is a massive point in the game so far, as there's 2 outs and runner on second. And that ball is low and outside for ball 1. I would think anything in the outfield would score Cardona from second. The outfield is playing probably regular depth. Here's a 1-1. And high and outside for ball 2. Richard not giving Bush really anything good to hit. Just trying to pepper the outside part of the zone. Here's a 2-1. And Bush fouls that one back. Evens the count at 2-2. So this will be down to the Hillcats' final strike of the game so far in regulation. And high and outside again for ball 3. And that is a full count. As we get some shade from the sun for a little bit with the cloud covering. See if Richard can get her with the payoff pitch. And she does just that with a swinging strike 3 as we head to the bottom half of the 7th. Golden Suns are down to the final 3 outs. and they trail 1-0. This is Golden Sun softball.
Welcome to St. Mary's Regional Health System, your trusted healthcare partner in Russellville. Since 1925, we've grown alongside our community, providing compassionate care to generations. With advances in technology and a dedicated team, we continue to evolve, driven by our mission of making communities healthier. Thank you, Russellville, for allowing our family to care for yours. St. Mary's Regional Health System, making communities healthier.
All right, welcome back to Golden Sun softball as we head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Here's the situation. The Golden Suns are down by 1 run, by 1-0. And they are down to their final 3 outs of this game.
Now batting, number
As
10, Riley Drake.
Riley Drake is up to bat. Well, it will be Drake, Jackson, and Dixon as the 3 battles for the Golden Suns try to either even or do a walk-off win here.
And Drake is 0 for 1 against Cooley.
And she pops that one up on the first pitch. And the first baseman makes the catch, and that'll be the first out of the inning. And so that'll bring up Charlie Jackson, the catcher.
Charlie's 0 for 2 today, has a strikeout
Charlie Jackson.
and a ground out. She needs to get it going here, get on base for Alea Dixon.
She sure does. Let's see if we can get her on base and maybe get a pinch runner for her. First pitch, outside for ball 1.
Better late than never for the offense to turn on. Certainly going to need it here.
Yeah, they really haven't had any success against this Rogers State Hillcat pitcher, Cooley. And that one's popped and caught by the second baseman. It was almost in no man's land. I thought it was going to drop. So that'll bring up Dixon to the plate with the Golden Suns down to their final out.
Every time Alea Dixon has been up in this one, it's been with 2 outs.
Sure has. And first pitch to her is a called strike on the outside part of the plate.
It's unfortunate that one of your best hitters can't have anybody on for her when she's batting.
This goes to show you the dominance that Cooley's had in the circle today against this Golden Suns lineup. Second pitch is outside for ball 1. Dixon was able to check her swing there and hold up the bat. She could easily hit something into the outfield and make it a double, possible triple with her speed. That pitch is outside for ball 2. She has done it before, especially if there's something that gets into the either corner. Might be exactly what this offense needs. And that is outside for ball 3, and Keeley's like, where in the world was that? As she did not get that call.
This would be a massive block for the Golden Suns if Dixon can offer it.
Would really be that, and that she does just that, Jonah. And that's what you need to do.
Now batting, number 27.
Dixon already has a steal in this one. Likely see her take off again.
I would venture to say that would be the plan for Coach Jones with Dixon's speed. She's already, like you said, she already has one stolen base. And first pitch on a swung through it. And she's up to bat for the first pitch strike.
Brown is certainly ready behind the plate in case Dixon does go. get in a throwing position every time she catches it.
And Anna fouls that one back for strike 2, so the Golden Suns are back down to their final strike of this game. As the count is 0-2. And that pitch is outside for ball 1.
It does have a single in this one in her first at bat.
One of the 2 rare hits in this game.
Struck out both times since. She's 1 for 3.
And here's the 1-2. And Anna gets the hit. And that'll move Dixon up 60 feet. And as she gets 2 of the 3 hits. So that'll bring up Maya Curry. Exactly what you want if you're a Golden Suns supporter. Just pass the bat down the lineup. So now the winning run is on base with Curry up to bat. See if she can slap something. And that pitch is outside for ball 1.
Curry is 0 for 3 today. Has 3 strikeouts. Needing to put something in play here and at least give the Golden Suns a chance.
If Curry is able to get on, probably the most dangerous hitter, Aubrey Jones, is on the on-deck circle. That pitch is outside for strike 1. So the key here is see if Curry can not do too much and try to be the hero with one swing. 1-1, and home plate umpire said she did go around, and that'll be strike 2. Golden Suns down to their final strike again. Here's the 1-2, and outside for ball 2. Decent pitch there by Q Lee. Maya was not offering at it. So we got it even count at 2-2. Here comes the 2-2. And Maya slaps that. Here comes Dixon to the plate. Throw home. And she takes out the umpire. And that will be the final out of the game. So Coach Jones is appealing that there is obstruction. So we'll have a conference with the umpires here and Coach Jones does not get the call. And she's arguing her case.
Yeah, it doesn't even argue the play at the plate. It's just arguing obstruction, but Dixon was gunned down at home. What a throw from the center fielder, Gorman, on a rope to the catcher, Brown, to gun down Dixon, who's not easy to throw out.
She really isn't. So that's the end of the first game of our doubleheader today, as the Golden Suns were unable to get the win. And the second game will begin in about 30 minutes. We'll be back here with the call here on the Tech Sports Network on YouTube. As we said, Golden Suns lose the first game 1-0. This is Golden Suns softball.